Hey, Donna Price here with Compass Rose Consulting for the Womenpreneur Success Path weekly training. I'm thrilled to be here and have some exciting stuff today. So I hope that you've got a pen and paper, you've got a cup of tea, you're ready to do some learning, thinking about your business. As always, I recommend when you're doing any of these trainings that you grab the ideas that resonate with you for your business. Not so much worried about writing down notes like we did in school. So let's get started. So the Womenpreneur Success Path, different path for everybody. It's not just a straight line. It can go in a lot of different directions, but there are some things that are pretty consistent. So let's talk about what those things are. I'm not liking my layouts. You can tell that here. So let me there we go. All right. Love that we can change them. So starts with leadership, you being the CEO of your business, being really clear on that mission, purpose, vision, values, so that you can create a powerful strategic plan that moves you forward. The second part, or the second pillar, is you're creating your strategic framework. So I believe that every business has a marketing framework that's going to work for their business, and it's not going to look the same from one business to another business. But there are, of course, some things that we're going to recommend that each business do. They might just do it a little bit differently. So for instance, every business needs traffic coming into their business, either walking in the door or coming to their website. How we get that traffic can be different, but we all need traffic, right? So the custom, or creating your strategic marketing framework, is making the decisions about what's going to work for your business. The third pillar is products and services. So creating excellent products and services, and then bundling them in different ways and launching them in different ways that offer incredible value to your customers and clients. And then the fourth pillar is developing smooth operations, creating that well-oiled machine that gives you the time freedom and money freedom to live a life that you love. So some of that is automating your systems. Part of it is creating operational strategies and plans so that you're positioned to grow your business, scale your business, and eventually sell your business. And there's like a delay here in the clicks and the appearance of content. See how that goes. And then the last piece is building that strong foundation. I think of that as like you as the CEO having a success mindset, doing really good self-care, personal growth, personal and professional development, to ensure that you have that foundation for your business to grow and thrive on. I outline this whole framework in the Visionary Womenpreneurs Field Guide, and you can pick that up at compassroseconsulting.com/field-guide. So today we're talking about positioning yourself as an educator or an expert, and how that can be part of your marketing strategy, but it also can tie back to a strategy that we talked about a couple weeks ago in creating a membership program or recurring revenue program. And this positioning yourself as an educator kind of dovetails right into that strategy as well. So one of the things that you want to look at is how to create a workshop that you can monetize. And, so we do a weekly workshop. How do we monetize that? Well, at the end of the workshop, there's usually an offer of some sort. It might be to a free download or a free course. It might be to a paid course. So there's different ways that we can monetize the workshop, and it might not be money right in that moment. It might be that you go and you download the Visionary Womenpreneurs Field Guide that I just gave you the link for. And then when you're in our email indoctrination sequence, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, we start building that relationship, and you start learning about Compass Rose Consulting, about me, about the services that we offer or that I offer. And then you hear something or you read something or you see a video and you're like, I need that. And it started with the workshop, right? So different ways that you can monetize your workshop. We recommend doing a weekly workshop. So that's a strategy, right? Of a lead generation strategy, a community building strategy. And then, like I said a second ago, it can tie back to that recurring revenue membership site. So you can offer these weekly workshops for free where people can watch them like you are, right? And so you might be watching this on LinkedIn or Facebook or YouTube. But it might be that we also package these into a membership program that you can access on our website. And so most of these aren't in a paid membership area of the website. They are all in that Visionary Womenpreneurs Field Guide membership area. So it's easily accessible to people when you go in there. But you could also decide that you're going to make it accessible in a paid members area, or it might become part of a paid product. So this content that you develop in a workshop can be used in numerous ways, is my point. So you want to figure out ways to extend your audience and get people to attend, right? So that goes back to that traffic. We're going to need traffic. So part of it is going to be deciding on what platform you're going to post your weekly workshop, how you're going to let people know about that weekly workshop, and how you're going to notify people. So we do a couple of different things. Typically, we post that we're going to be doing it via an event. We email people on our list that it's going to happen and give them the link to the event. We email people after the event and tell them that it happened, and here's the link where you can go watch it. So lots of different ways, but here are some other ways that you might extend that audience. So some sources for attendees. Come on, move there. So you can be a guest trainer on somebody else's webinar or workshop or in person. You can be a podcast guest and invite people to your weekly workshop. You can be a speaker at a meetup. You can be a guest lecturer. You can hold a book discussion. You can be a guest on a YouTube video or interview, similar to being a podcast guest. You can be a guest speaker at an alumni event. And sometimes we don't think of our college alumni associations as a resource, but that can be a valuable resource to you. And there's some really good ways that you can use that resource. You don't want to overdo it. I was trying to think of a good word there, but you don't want to overdo it. But some key times when you can reach out to that alumni association and invite people to connect with you. Chamber of Commerce is always a great place to speak. If your chamber invites people to speak, I'd encourage you to go do that. So lots of different places where you can speak, be a guest, and then invite people to your weekly workshop. If you're going to be a guest speaker, it's great if you have a training archive or video archive that you can share with people, your potential hosts, to let them know that you're a dynamic, interesting speaker, that you're not just going to sit there and be really boring, but you are engaging and you're interesting and you've got some good stories to tell. So be sure to share a couple of videos or your archive, or perhaps create a playlist so that people can take a look at your speaking. I always get ahead of myself. So you want to have a training archive, playlist of training, just said that. You can have them on YouTube. That's where I have them. I could have them on my website in a private area, or you could have them on Vimeo or create a private server to have those on. I think part of it is that you want people to kind of stay where you're directing them to. So not go all over looking at everything perhaps, but look at the key things. And the goal, so you want to pick the videos carefully, is to prove that you can be in front of an audience and share what you know. So it's great. I have an interview that I did for a TV show, a couple of them actually. And so those videos are great to share with people because it shows that I can be on a TV show. I can be engaging with the guest or the host. I can tell interesting stories, share valuable information that people are interested in. And that makes it more attractive to invite me to be a guest. People don't want to invite someone to be a guest that they're going to be embarrassed by, right? So you want to be sure if you're inviting people to be a guest on one of your shows or your YouTube or something like that, you want to be sure that you're inviting somebody that's going to resonate with your audience. And the same thing goes for people that are hosting you. So you're working to create an excuse to be in front of people so that you can expand your audience beyond the people that you know or the people that are currently following you. So you can also create live content, kind of like we're doing here. So the weekly workshop, place it on online platforms. You can share it on Udemy, Skillshare, Amazon. You can put it on social media platforms, Facebook Live, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram. So we can do all of those types of places, right? And the goal is to invite people to your weekly workshop. So at Compass Rose Consulting, we have, and I'll show you at the end, a place where you can sign up to attend the weekly workshop. And that way you're going to be on the notification list for that weekly workshop. And I'm going to email you a couple days ahead of time. This is what the topic is. This is when it's happening. This is the link to get there live. Opportunity to ask questions. So you want to have an opt-in. So this becomes another way to build your email list, right? And once people have joined your email list, then you're able to tell them about other things about your business. So in some cases, you want to do that ethical bribe to get people on your email list. So it might not be just the weekly workshop, but maybe you're going to add, sign up for a weekly notification list and receive this special gift. And use the videos where you have the best energy. So becoming a guest trainer, it is easier than you think. And there are lots of areas that you can specialize in, right? So one thing is to look at who's producing information about your topic so that you can potentially reach out to them. So these could be people going back to that Dream 100 list that get added to your Dream 100 list of people where you would like to be on their YouTube or their podcast or speak to their group. Potential joint venture partners. So you want to be clear what they're going to get and what their audience is going to get. When you're getting the opportunity, is to invite them to your regular workshop. So that's what you're getting, right? So you're not asking people to buy your product at that time. You're asking to be a guest so that you can invite them to your weekly workshop. Come on. So you want to identify people that you can partner with that already have a group or following, but perhaps they don't have time to train people and they don't have time to share the information that you're sharing. So then you become valuable to them because it's a value add for their audience. And all you're asking for is people to come to your weekly workshop. And if you're a network marketer, you're working with the business opportunity seekers, lots of speaking opportunities with that group. But before you start, you need to have your opt-in in place. And so you want to build your funnel, right? So you want to have that opt-in where people can join your email list and you can start educating them about you and your services, nurturing that relationship right away. So you don't want to wait to start getting yourself asked to be a guest trainer, but make sure that you have a simple opt-in page, really easy to do. I do all of my stuff in WordPress, but there's lots of other places that you can do landing pages or opt-in pages. You want to have a way for the vendor to monetize, so the person that you're working with. You want to set up a simple email sequence. So you want to make it easy for them to be added to your weekly webinar series. And you may want to add them at the point of opt-in. So then tell them in the welcome email what they're signed up for automatically. When the email from your webinar system is titled, do it in a prospect-friendly way. And your goal is to get them to attend on a regular basis. So I don't actually have people opt into the webinar software. I have people opt in to my email list. So there's a couple ways you can do this. Opt into the webinar, like you can opt in, have scheduled meetings on Zoom where they're opting into several meetings, or you can have it on your email. Both are good. Don't forget, there's offline sources that can be helpful as well. So you want to make sure people understand what it is you do. I've found that sometimes people do not understand what I do. Business cards can still work in some places. I have in my book, so when I publish a book, then in the beginning, there is an opt-in. It's usually in a box right in the very beginning where they can access some additional resources by opting in. So it doesn't send them to that weekly workshop, but does send them to an opt-in. So you could use, like the Visionary Womenpreneurs Field Guide is a download, but I could also create that as a paperback, easily turn it into a printable. You can turn your digital audio into CDs and sell them on Amazon or eBay. So that's something that we used to do before we had like streaming, right? But now we have streaming and you can still sell stuff on Amazon or eBay that you've created. So the audio portion. You can look at Groupon. You got to be creative with it. You got to be careful with it. Make sure it's really going to work for you. And when you're doing these things, remember, you're driving people to that free weekly workshop. And they should be able to immediately see your archive. So if you sign up for the field guide, you can immediately access a whole bunch of trainings that are right there. And if you have an opportunity for traditional media, newspaper, radio, television, go for it. Definitely. So the indoctrination series. I think we talked about this last week, if I'm not mistaken. But you want to have an email indoctrination series. So some kind of autoresponder that uses tagging and automation. So every email system uses different language to say very similar things. So you need to understand that. But an autoresponder is an automatic email that's going to go out. So someone opts into your email, so they opt into the weekly notification list, they automatically get an email first asking them to confirm that they actually opted in. And then we start the indoctrination series. So some of the things you can do in that indoctrination series: make sure to get them to whitelist you. Give them a new customer discount to your product or services. Tell them about your success path. Invite them to the workshops repeatedly. You don't want to be doing affiliate offers right away with people or joint venture offers. It needs to be about you in the indoctrination. And you want to keep them, like I talked about last week, separate from that broadcast. If you're doing a daily broadcast or weekly broadcast, initially keep those folks separate if your system allows you to do that. So what are you going to do? Assignment. Brainstorm places where you can be a guest and write five down. Reach out to one place to be a guest. Brainstorm that area of expert focus. So what are you offering to people when you're reaching out to be a guest? And if you have questions, I want you to email me your questions at support@compassersconsulting.com. I also want you to email me like a synopsis of the 5 ideas you came up with. You don't have to tell me like who the people are or anything like that, but say, I came up with a podcast, or I came up with 3 podcasts that I'm reaching out to, and I came up with a YouTube show. Whatever they are, email me those ideas that you came up with for expanding your audience, because that's really what we're talking about, is you positioning yourself as an educator and an expert to expand your audience and bring them into your community, so that then you can continue to engage with them and build a relationship. And we're working to take people down that buyer's journey, or the path to doing business with you. If you have questions, more questions, schedule a business breakthrough session. We can talk about how all of this applies to your business. We look at your business right now. We look at where you want it to be. We assess what's stopping you or slowing you down, and we create a plan to accelerate your results right there in the meeting, so that you're leaving with an action plan for your business acceleration breakthrough. So you can go to meetwithdonna.com. Now you can see that I am definitely in the wrong spot. Let's change that. It's not letting me change. There we go. So meetwithdonna.com to schedule that business breakthrough session. They're usually about 45 minutes, and I'd love to talk to you. And I want to thank you for being here. It won't move any further. So thanks for being here. I look forward to talking with you. If you have questions, email me, support@compassersconsulting.com. If you want to talk more about how you can expand your audience for your business, schedule a business breakthrough session, meetwithdonna.com, and make it a great day. Take big action in your business.